So today's video, I'm going to do the activity 7.6.1. Skills Integration Challenge Data Line Clear is used. So the topology, the diagram, the learning objectives, the background, Task 1, IP subnet planning. You have been given an IP address block of 172.16.0.0/22. You must provide for existing networks as well as future growth. Subnet assignments are, so I have an subnet information. So this is my subnet information from subnet 1 to subnet 7. And next is the interface IP addresses. For the server, configure the second highest usable IP address on the ISP LAN subnet. So first, I click the Eagle server, then turn on. I config, then put the gateway. So the gateway is 172.16.3.62. And the DNS is 172.16.3.61. 16.3.61. And then to pass Ethernet, the IP address here is 172.16.3. It's just same. And the subnet mask 255.492. Then turn on. And also turn on the HTTP and the DNS. And put the domain name. So the domain name is the Eagle server.example.com. Eagle server.example.com. Then click add. We've got to put the IP address. So the IP address is 172.16.3.61. 16.3.61. Click add. Make sure the spelling is correct. So it's correct. So close. Then for R1 ISP, pass Ethernet 00 interface, configure the highest usable IP address on the ISP LAN subnet. For R1 ISP is O00 interface, configure the highest usable address on the existing one subnet. So click the R1 ISP. And then config pass Ethernet. It says and pass Ethernet, configure the highest usable IP address. So the IP address is 172.16.3.62. So the subnet mask gonna gamit that to 55 that 92. Then click add settings, then save. And then serial 172.6.3.98 16.98 and the subnet. It should be 252. Then turn on. And save. Next is for R2 Central ISO00 interface, use the lowest usable address on the existing WAN subnet. For R2 Central plus Ethernet 00 interface, click the highest usable address on the existing student LAN subnet. Click the R2 Central and then config. Fast Ethernet 0. So the IP address is 172.16.3 .1.254 16.1.254 and the subnet mask 255.255.254.0. Then click add. Click on. Turn on, then settings, then save. So next is task 2, finish building the network and packet tracer, attending to some layer 2 issues. On the R2 Central router, our network interface card is missing for the serial connection to R1 ISP. Add a WIC2P. In the right-hand slot, connect a serial DCE cable to R1 ISP serial 00 with the other end to R2 Central S000. For all devices, make sure the power is on for the devices and interfaces. So I'm gonna click again the R2 Central. Then physical, add the WIC2T. I'm just gonna drag it. Oh, I forgot to turn off first, then do it again. Drag it again, put it here, and turn on again. So next, serial 00. The IP address is 172.16.3.97. So the subnet mask 172.16.3.97 255.252. and set the clock rate to 64,000, then turn on. So, settings, then save. Close. So next as I'm going to connect the R1 ISP to R2 Central by using the serial DCE. Then next is for PCs 1A and 1B, use the first two IP addresses, two lowest usable addresses on the existing student LAN subnet. For PCs 1A and 1B, in addition to IP configuration, configure them to use Dns Services. For the server, enable Dns Services, use the domain name egoserver.example.com, and enable HTTP services. So first is the PC1B. PC1B I1E versus the PC1E, then config and put the gateway 172.16.1.254 254 72.16.1.254, and the DNS server is 172.16.3.61, and then the plus Ethernet IP address. So the IP address is 172.16.3 .0.1 172.16.0.1, and the subnet mask, it should be 255.254.0, and turn on, close, then proceed to 1B desktop iConfig. Then the gateway is 16.1.254, and the DNS is 172.16.3.61, and the pass Ethernet, the IP address is 172.16.0.2, subnet mask 254.0, then turn on, then close. So next is task 3. Task 3, configure the network. You will need to configure the server, both routers, and the two PCs. You will not need to configure the switch, nor do you need the iOS CLI to configure the routers. Part of the router configuration has already been done for you. All you must do is configure the static routes and the interfaces via the GUI. The static route on R1 ISP should point to the existing student LAN subnet via R2 Central serial interface IP address. The static route on R2 Central should be a default static route which points via R1 ISP serial interface IP address. These procedures were explained in the Chapter 5 Skills Integration Challenge and Practice. So I'm gonna click the R1 ISP and static. So the network is 172.16.0 16.0.0. The mask 255.254.0, and the next hop is 172.16.3.97. Make sure it's correct. 172.16.0.255.172.16.397. Then click add settings, then save. Then proceed to R2 Central. R2 Central, then static. So the network is 0.0.0.0. And the next hop is 172.16.3.98. 172.16.3.98. Then click add settings, then save. It's already saved. So I'm gonna check the result. It's not complete. Oh, may mali. R1 ISP. It's incorrect. R1 ISP. The IP address and the subnet is incorrect. So let's check. R1 ISP. Oh, I forgot. Kaya pala. Mas Ethernet wala pala. So R1 ISP, I forgot to put the IP address. 172.16.23.62. Overlaps. Why? Ethernet. So R1 ISP. Ay, namali. That's why it's error. instead in fast internet, I put it in the fast internet 01. Dapat na sa fast internet 00. Kabaliktad. 172. 160. 162. Save. As you can see, the completion is the 100%. So next is task for you test the network. Use ping, trace web traffic, and the inspector. Trace packet flow in simulation mode with HTTP, DNS, TCP, UDP, and ICMP viewable to test your understanding of how the network is operating. So next. So next is it's failed, and then delete. Try again. And now it's successful. Switch to simulation mode. In the eventless filters, the visible events are the ICMP, TCP, UDP, HTTP, and DNS. Next is this. Need the capture forward. So it's successful. So that's all. The activity is completed.